Hello everyone, Flo here back with another video, and this will be the part 2 of the LenTotally's drama. I wouldn't say drama anymore, it's literally a crime like many of you said in my previous video. I should have thought about it sooner when I tried to title my video. Yeah, sorry about that, but I totally agree that what Len did was a serious crime. After searching deeper and deeper into this whole mess, and with the help of my dear viewers and friends, I was able to identify who the victim was. So I made a community post asking if I should reveal this name or not. And those who actually said yes, I'm quite disappointed. Let me explain. The victim here in this situation have asked many times to not reveal their name if they were found out. And we still should give the victim some privacy after all this mess has been going on. But since I got much more info about this whole situation, I might be able to analyze Len's post that is now deleted and try to be in his point of view. I'm not saying I'm defending him. What he did was wrong and he was aware of it, but at least explain what was his thinking at the time. As much as I hate drama, it's not going to end well for me. I'm highly aware. Though again, my side is always part of this. The evidence is true. As much as I regret it, I did such things to someone. I'm sure the majority won't be on my side this time. As for the screenshots, it's those moments where she requested me to do intimidate scenarios through roleplay. It's already bad enough that I agree. I'm aware of that. There are multiple points that I strayed away from that quote-unquote friendship because I'm highly aware of how wrong it is. We sometimes get in fights because of that, be distant from each other until we cut ties at one point. I don't go and do these things to anyone I meet. I really have no intention of doing these actions from the beginning. I just treated these close friends as adults, or equals. In general, the post is about him admitting his wrongdoings. Now, I'll focus on the 6th paragraph. The 6th paragraph is saying that he just treated these close friends as adults, or equals. Here is the problem. The problem is that he considered the victim, and I believe multiple people, as adults and equals. We all know Len is from the Philippines, and if you look on the age consent of sexual consent, you get 12. The thing is, in the Philippines, it's not the whole world. The whole world has different laws applying to other people. For example, I'm French, and the French system is only applicable, I think it's around 15. It could be another age for another country. And when he said I treated my closest friends as adults or equals, I'm sure he got influenced by his education from his family, which would explain why he thought at first that, I don't know, all his friends, even though they were minors, were adults for him. If you see like this on this point, the problem is the education he had. And the education in the Philippines is way different from an education in a European country or in the United States, for example. Anyway, the 4th and 5th paragraphs of this post are simply what's been going on privately between Len and the victim. The fourth paragraph, Len is kind of trying to accuse the victim of starting this whole mess, since apparently, I quote from what he said, she requested me to do intimate scenarios through roleplay. It's already bad enough that I agree, I'm aware of that. If we take out the fourth paragraph individually, it kind of makes sense to the point of why people assume that she was at wrong too. Let me explain. In the original exposing video, the exposer said that the victim was traumatized and she was shocked and everything, which I could completely understand. And also they mentioned that it took her 6 months to actually spit out the truth, which would also make sense. But people have been accusing the victim to be at wrong as well since they played along. And I want to put in quotation marks played along. Here is a definition of child grooming. Child grooming is befriending and establishing an emotional connection with a child and sometimes a family to lower the child's inhibitions with the objective of sexual abuse. Child grooming is also regularly used to lure minors into various illicit businesses such as child trafficking, child prostitution, cybersex trafficking, or the production of child pornography. This crime has been proscribed in various ways since the International Convention for the Suppression of the Traffic in Women and Children, which was agreed in 1921 as a multilateral treaty of the League of Nations that addressed the problem of international trafficking of women and children. The proscribed traffic was international in nature at the time. The concept of localized grooming, which gangs groom neighborhoods victims, was defined in 2010 in the UK Child Exploitation and Online Protection Centre. The screenshots I'm showing you right now is the accusation of possible child pornography. This is a serious crime, as you might have seen through my Wikipedia search. But is actually the Philippines in the treaty? Let me see. When the first treaty of child grooming was signed, the Philippines, as I circled here, was not a member of this treaty, neither of the League of Nations, which means at the time the Philippines were still for child grooming. But you might say, Flo, that treaty was 1 century old. Things must have changed by now. Well, sadly no. A study made by the ABC News around May 2020 said that Philippines is a global hotspot for online child abuse. And it was made by a US official. So, I still think child grooming is legal in the Philippines. I am afraid that it is still legal. Sorry. So I simply don't think that Len will be going to jail anytime soon. Maybe he wants to. That's because he's much more placed inside the international community than in the Philippines community. But I don't think that in his country he will be arrested and be thrown to jail. And if he was thrown to jail, he won't last that much long in jail. Because in the Philippines, child grooming is legal apparently. Anyway, let's move on to the second post that he actually deleted now. And let's see what he said. So I asked someone to contact her through someone. Response: understood. I really am sorry for what I have done. I assure everyone I will change for the better. I'll gladly go to jail for the action I have done. Forgiven or not, I will respect everyone's decision. First, Len, as I said before, might not go to jail because the Philippines is okay with child grooming, as I said before. Then he was able to contact through someone the victim. and I'm sure you didn't see quite what the victim said. So let me zoom a bit and read what she said. I don't think there's any way he can honestly redeem himself. I just hope that he doesn't do this to anyone else. I still care for him, and I don't want to do any legal charges against him because he still deserves a chance. He has a future, and I hope he learns from the mistakes and actions we both did. Please don't ever do the same thing you did to me. Don't make empty promises to me. Don't give me hope for something I clearly couldn't have. Don't lead anyone else on. I was completely devoted to you for months, and I hardly got any kind of gratitude or appreciation. It ruined my mental health for months. Please just be honest next time. Did you guys know that when Len posted this community post, he didn't at first censor the name? I swear. I was able, thanks to my friend, to get the uncensored screenshot, which I won't show, because the victim clearly said many times that she was uncomfortable and seriously wanted to remain anonymous. Like I said very previously at the beginning of this video. So no, I won't reveal the identity of this person. But this person, the only clue I can give is that she's also from the Philippines. And so it would make sense that she didn't know as well at the time that it was wrong. Because education, because legal, because everything. When we educate a child, we mostly educate them through what you should not do. And since they are both from the Philippines, we can understand that she didn't know and that she was manipulated from Len, because Len is way older than the victim. 4 or 5 years old of differences, can you believe it? And it just confirms that, well, Len and the victim are very close people. In conclusion, I simply don't know how to conclude this video. Basically, it should have been dealt privately between Len and the victim, but since the victim decided to reach out to internet and YouTube, obviously it blew up. Obviously people jump on the info and try to spread it as much as possible. There are even some people who gain clout with it, that just made the video just to gain clout. Can you actually believe it? And also people trying to have their own opinion on the matter. People doing theories about who actually the victim is. I'll say it again, I know, but I won't say it. And also people who are trying to express their opinion on the matter, saying, for example, if they believe Len was in the wrong, or even if the victim was wrong. I even seen big gachatubers say that the victim was in the wrong too. I won't say the name, but that's still messed up. That's still child grooming. I don't know how old is the gachatuber who said that, but still, that's still wrong. They should do more research about it. And that will end this video. Please do more research of what is actually going on. You can't just jump into a video, steal all their info, and say, yeah, this happened. If you want people to understand what you are talking about, you should do research yourself, like the original exposing video did. They choose child grooming specifically because child grooming is actually very close to the situation we have right now. People are saying that Len is a pedo, which would also apply this situation because Len is an adult, around 19, 20 years old, and the victim is around 14, 15 now. So it's still like a pedophile situation. So please do more research next time. Like, don't believe anything people say. Try to analyze. I know for most of you it might be hard because the gacha community is like a small teenagers community, and at those type of age, people don't understand or don't try to understand because they think they understood. And guys, YouTube is the internet, Discord is the internet, any social media is the internet, so you have to be very careful of what you're doing on the internet. Each opinion, I don't know, on Twitter can be simply cut and posted out of context on another platform, and it could be with the mention, this person is actually ta-ta-ta. So yeah, that is a big lesson for all of us, all children and teenagers. Be careful on what you're saying on the internet and to possible friends. You can't trust no one on the internet, even close friends. Don't reveal so easily personal information or even personal info physically about yourself. That's why this situation happened. Like, basically, we're all strangers to each other. We just talk through messages, through text, and we think us young generations that okay, now we're friends. No, I can simply qualify friends as someone I actually met in real life. For example, I have friends in real life, and I have online friends. And the online friends is actually the problem. Online friends is, you know the person for their personality, but you don't know if they could hide something or how they look like. So this is extremely dangerous, and you don't know if you can trust them or not. I'm sure most of you are trustful. I'm not saying everything is bad, but there can have some situation like this one specifically where you absolutely trust someone, and that someone just manipulates you and use you emotionally to do some bad stuff. Like, be real, people. This is the real life. Internet is similar to the real life. It's like a little society. And as an adult, I can clearly say that what Len did was wrong. That internationally it's wrong, except in the Philippines, as I did research. So yeah, if you guys want my opinion, what Len did was bad, and that the victim shouldn't be blamed for what she has done. She was manipulated. She was used, and it takes time to actually spit out the truth. There was a whole drama going on about girls and women expressing themselves after being raped years later in France. There were hashtags. There were laws and more and trials and men thrown to jail for what they have done to young girls and women. And it's a very sensitive topic. Yeah. I don't know what to say anymore. To be honest, this situation is very messed up. So let me synthesize it better. Len is a child groomer, but sadly in the Philippines, he's not considered as a child groomer because child grooming is legal. So for most of the community, which is mostly composed from Americans and Asian countries, such as the Philippines or Vietnamese or even Indonesians, a lot of gachatubers are from this part of the world. And for those countries, they have different rules, different laws from the European part of the world. So it makes sense people are mad, and it makes sense that some people don't understand the situation and think that the victim is out wrong too. So please don't blame on each other first. That just creates more drama. drama that is unnecessary at this point. And 2, leave Len and the victim alone. They both had hard times. I'm not saying what Len did was good. What Len did was terribly wrong. But people have been doing more and more and more and more videos about it. And I think those two needs a timeout. They need to rest. They need to, move on and recover from this terrible event. This tragedy, actually. So, yeah, I think that will conclude this video. I believe this is the longest video I have ever made in my entire live channel. So I hope you understood better the situation. It was hard for me to find good arguments and good information about the Philippines, but I was able to find it, and I hope that you will understand as good as I did. I don't want misconceptions and people hating all the wrong people. So anyway, thank you so much for watching. I hope you understood the whole point of this video. And if you can share this video as well to people who did not understand the situation. I'm sure it will help them a lot. Thank you for watching. Stay safe, either in real life or on the internet, and have a nice day or night. Goodbye.